Hello friends, welcome into NFL Daily, presented by BETDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. I am your host, Tom Downey. Here with a look at the latest AFC playoff picture. Week 15, it is in the books. We know which teams have already clinched. Those two are the Chiefs and the Chargers. We'll take an overall look here at the current AFC playoff picture, and we'll break down all the ways that these teams can clinch either this week or next week, whatever it is for these teams. Again, only 6 are going to get in. The Browns, yes, they are still technically alive. We'll break down that rather convoluted scenario. But first, we'll start off with your current #1 seed, the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's how they get in, either winning the AFC West and also getting a first round bye at the same time. All they have to do is win and have the Chargers lose. Now, that was made more complicated by the Chiefs losing to LA. They would have secured that last weekend or last Thursday, I should say, had they won. That did not happen. Now, they're still your favorites to get the #1 seed. They need a win, a Texans loss or tie, and a Chargers loss. They can also just win both games, and they'll be in fantastic shape there. A tough one, though, coming up on the road against the Seattle Seahawks. Your current #2 seed, they are the Houston Texans, playing very, very well after a rough start, have not yet clinched the AFC South. They need a win or a Colts loss or tie. In reality, with games against the Eagles and the Jags, they should be able to secure that. They can also get a playoff berth, i.e. just getting a wild card spot, by winning or having a loss by the Ravens or the Steelers. So in reality, the Houston Texans, they're looking at about a 98% chance right now. They're pretty much in. In fact, we'll show you the BETDSI odds for other teams out there. Houston doesn't even have any because they are that secure in their playoff spot. Now, they can get a bye as well. The #1 seed have to have a better record than the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Chargers. Of course, some of those will work themselves out. And the #2 seed, they need to have a better record than the Patriots. They do not have that head-to-head tiebreaker. Now, games against the Eagles and Jags, well, Eagles are playing very well, coming off that big win against the Rams. Jaguars, not so much. They are dead last right now in the AFC South standings. Again, the Texans have not quite secured that berth yet. They have not locked up the AFC South at this point. The Colts are still alive at 8-6. They'd win a head-to-head tiebreaker if Texans lose out and the Colts win out. The Titans, well, they're not going to win. Jags, well, they have been out of the playoff race for quite some time. The #3 seed right now are the New England Patriots, and as strange as this sounds, if things stand pat, it will be the first time they have missed out on a playoff bye in 9 years. And the 3 times they've made the postseason, had to play in the wild card round, the Patriots have not made a run at the Super Bowl. They have not made it. Now, they can get the AFC East with a pretty easy path here. Win or Miami, lose or tie, they are in great shape there. But to get that #2 seed, they needed the same or better record than Houston, so they need some help to secure that. They're right now cheering for the Eagles. Now, there are some wild card scenarios as well, but most of them just involve the Dolphins losing, and that's the same thing as securing an AFC East championship. So which team will get the #2 seed in the AFC? The Texans still alive? The Patriots still alive? The Colts are still technically alive as well. Heck, even the Steelers can still get that #2 seed, even though it's a bit of a long shot right now, and they're focusing more on winning their division at the moment. All right, folks, I'm playing State of Tom this holiday season, so if you want an NFL jersey, pay attention. Here's how you can get one for free. You got to sign up and deposit with our partner over at BETDSI. Head over to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code LIVE120, and then DM us on Twitter @chatsports. Once you guys have signed up and deposit, we'll get you guys hooked up with an awesome official Nike NFL jersey. Think about it this way. You put down $50, which is way cheaper than any NFL jersey you're going to get that's legit. You're going to get $60 from BETDSI with that promo code LIVE120, and you'll get that NFL jersey. It is the best gift this holiday season. All right, some more clinching scenarios. How about the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off a season-saving and maybe season-defining win against the New England Patriots? They secured the AFC North with a win and a Ravens loss. They get a wild card if they win, the Colts win, and the Titans lose, one of which will happen in Week 17. Well, I guess there's still a tie scenario. The issue for Pittsburgh is that they play on the road against the Saints and home against the Bengals. They might end up losing that game. We'll show you the BETDSI odds here as well for the Steelers, but they have a very good shot. That win against the Patriots absolutely saved their season. As they sit right now, they are favorites to make the playoffs. -400 on BETDSI. those are pretty good odds. That means that BETDSI is feeling good about Pittsburgh making their way in. So those are your top 4 seeds right now. KC, Houston, New England, and Pittsburgh. Let's take a look now at the very complicated wild card, although one thing not complicated, we know LA's in. We know they are going to get a wild card no matter what. Now, they can get the AFC West if they win out and the Chiefs lose 1 game, or if they win 1 game and the Chiefs lose 2 of them. Their schedule, not that easy though. Home against the Ravens, who are fighting for their own playoff lives, and then on the road against Denver, which actually might be easy now that the Broncos are out of the playoff race. So LA, we know they've secured a playoff spot. They are fighting for that AFC West, and if they win the AFC West, they'll probably get a bye as well in the postseason. All right, we'll take it now to some questions here with the Chiefs and Chargers. Which team will win? Give me a 1 for the Chiefs and a 2 for the Chargers. I will lean more towards the Chiefs, especially if they do beat the Seahawks, because I think that they can win out and end the year on a hot streak. But that win by LA drastically changed the playoff picture for both those teams. And frankly, both those teams are legit threats to win the entire AFC and make a true Super Bowl run this year. All right, back now to some more clinching scenarios here. The Baltimore Ravens, as of right now, are the number 6 seed. They have to finish with a better record than Pitt. Again, Pitt having a tie makes the tiebreakers non-existent because you just have to have the better record as long as the Ravens, I guess, don't tie, which I don't even want to consider that scenario because it's very, very complicated. So if they win out and Pittsburgh lose one game, the Ravens are your AFC North champions. A tough schedule, though, at the Chargers, home against the Browns, who probably will be out of the playoff mix at that point. Now, for the wild card, if they win out, they're probably in. And it's not official. There are tiebreakers involving strength of schedule and record and all that stuff, or strength of victory, excuse me. But the Ravens should be in and take a very complicated scenario involving a bunch of other games that I'm just not going to bother with to have them be left out. Now, if they lose a game, let's say they lose to the Chargers, they then need, and this is specific, the Titans to lose to the Redskins and the Titans to beat the Colts. Otherwise, it's a little tricky if the Ravens are actually going to get in. That's why their BETDSI odds are plus 120. It's not that unrealistic to see the Ravens drop a game and have the Colts or Titans win out or end up winning the tiebreaker, i.e. the Colts, if they find a way to win some games down the stretch. Now, the current AFC North standings, Pittsburgh 8-5-1 off that massive win over the Patriots. The Ravens 8-6. The Browns allowed in the playoff mix, but not in the AFC North. So which team will win? Give me an S for the Steelers and an R for the Ravens. Pittsburgh does have a tough game coming up against the Saints, but I think even if they lose that game, I think Baltimore will drop one, i.e. against the Chargers. So give me the Pittsburgh Steelers winning the AFC North and keeping that playoff streak alive under head coach Mike Tomlin. All right, folks, today's clothing is brought to you by Mizzen and Maine. If you like what I'm wearing, get one for yourself this holiday season. Comfortable.af is the site. Go check them out. It's the best damn dress shirt out there. Trust me, folks, you guys are not going to find a more comfortable shirt, dress or otherwise, than a Mizzen and Maine shirt. All right, we'll take you now to the Colts as how they can clinch a playoff spot this year. Now, the Colts, their odds aren't that great. We'll get to those in a minute here, but they are still alive in the AFC South. They must win out, have the Texans lose out, which feels like a bit of a stretch at this point. For the wild card, the simplest path is to win out and have the Ravens or Steelers lose the game. If that happens, they are in. The Dolphins don't matter at that point, and the Titans, well, they go on the road and face the Titans in Week 17. Now, if the Colts lose to the Giants, they need help. Week 17 is basically an elimination game, by the way, folks. If they lose this week, they need to, obviously, beat the Titans. They need the Dolphins to lose one game, although they probably get in, but it just makes it more easy and simpler. They then need the Ravens or Steelers to lose 2 of those games. That does not set up well for the Colts, so this week, in reality, is a must-win game against the Giants. Now, the Colts are one of those teams still alive in the hunt right now in the AFC playoff picture. The Titans still alive as well. We've broken over the rest of the teams. We'll keep going through them here, but here's just an update in case you're just now joining us. So the Titans at 8-6 also have a path. The AFC did a good job winning games they had to in Week 15. Simplest route is the wild card. Win out, have the Ravens or Steelers lose a game, and the Tennessee Titans are playoff bound. Week 17, guys, it is an elimination game. The loser of that game they are not going to make the playoffs. They're just going to come up just short, be a tiebreaker or an outright loss. Now, if the Titans lose against the Redskins, also fighting for their playoff lives at the moment, they need help. And here's how that help breaks down. Very similar, by the way, to the Colts one. Beat the Colts. Have the Ravens or Steelers lose both of their games. That's pretty tough. And then have the Dolphins also lose a game. Believe it or not, the Tennessee Titans, folks, have the best BETDSI odds to make the playoffs of the wild card teams, i.e. not the Pittsburgh Steelers, at plus 115. No figure on that one. Now, while the Broncos and the Bengals were eliminated this week from the playoff hunt, the Dolphins are still alive, but they took a very big blow. Their chances not looking great. If they lose one more game, they are out of the playoff race. They cannot get in. So here's the rather complicated scenario. Even if they win out, they still need help because they do not control their own destiny. So for the Dolphins, you need to, A, obviously, win out. Number 2, you need the Redskins to beat the Tennessee Titans. That is the specific step. Next one is you need the Titans to beat the Colts. In that scenario, boom, the Titans will have the same record. You need the Ravens to lose a game. That is just enough to get the Dolphins into the playoff race, but that's pretty complicated. That's why it's plus 1,000 odds on BETDSI. All right, folks, I am playing Santa Tom this holiday season, so if you want an NFL jersey, pay attention. Here's how I can get you hooked up with one. Sign up and deposit on BETDSI. Go to chatsports.com/bet. We'll take you right into the page. Use promo code LIVE120 when you do it. It gets you a 120% deposit bonus, i.e. you put down $50, they're going to give you $60 for free. And then DM us on Twitter @ChatSports. Get you guys hooked up with that NFL jersey. Check out the description. The links are in there for you guys at the very top. So again, chatsports.com/bet, promo code LIVE120, then DM us on Twitter @ChatSports. The last team still technically alive in the playoff race, it is the Cleveland Browns, and it is a very, very complicated and pretty much unlikely scenario here. They can only get into the 6th seed in the wild card, so they must A, win out. Then in Week 16, they need the Colts, the Ravens, and the Titans to all lose. Then at some point they need a Dolphins loss, be it Week 16 or Week 17. And then in Week 17, here's how things get really crazy, they need the Colts and the Titans to tie. Yeah, the Browns are truly only mathematically alive in the NFL or in the AFC playoff picture. They're not going to find their way in. Their betting odds right now plus 1,250. I'm actually surprised it's that low. When you're banking on a tie to get in and a combined 4 losses, it's not really going to end up happening. So the Browns need the Ravens to lose out, the Colts to lose it, or Colts to, I guess, not win out, the Titans to not win out. It's a lot to happen. It's not going to happen. So here are your betting odds to make the playoffs as that number 6 seed in the AFC wildcard, not putting the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are minus 400. The Titans plus 115, the Ravens plus 120, and the Colts plus 175. Dolphins and the Browns still technically alive, but not looking great. So, all right, folks, which team will get the number 6 seed in the AFC? Let me know in the comments section. I'm a little surprised it's the Titans. As hot as the Colts have been, I know it's a road game in Week 17. I'm going to lean more towards the Indianapolis Colts. I will not be surprised if they win out, but the Ravens, Titans all have very legitimate shots to make it this year in the NFL playoffs.